Shalom. This is Rod Kagama from the GMS Grand Rapids Spiritual Warfare Camp, coming at you with another lesson. I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Wahab Kwadash. Double honors to the Apostle Elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to you Akim out there laboring and keeping your watch in the faith. And one of the brothers, sent this link to this article, and pretty much we're in the time of, pretty much the mark of the beast being implemented, being that 2019 is the year of Karagma. And, pretty much like as far as warning, Jake, our people not to take the RFID chip, just gonna keep, pushing it that, the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast, according to Revelations 13, verse 16 through 18. And to give warning not to take the RFID chip, because we know that, one of the main ways that this chip is going to be pushed in order for people to accept it is, your pastors and preachers who've been basically under the protocol of the 501c3 charter of the government not to teach against the RFID microchip, but to be for it and for any type of government legislation, or not to speak out against the government or anything, and this is a way of Esau basically, trying to play the role of the Most High, and him being the son of perdition, the man of sin to be revealed, and he's truly going to reveal himself to be the man of sin once this prophecy plays out, because this is a way that Esau can basically play the role of being the Most High, because he can be able to track you wherever you are, and have complete control, over your life as far as your finances, as far as, knowing what you're doing at any given moment, and have total control, So, this is, it says, pastor ready to take microchip. His colleague says it is the mark of the beast, which it is, It says, this was published in September 30th, 2019. A Jamaican pastor said he would have no problem putting a microchip under his skin as one way to avoid using cash. All right. So, these pastors and preachers, as we at Great Millstone have already been pushing that they don't have the truth, and that they're going to lead most of you jakes astray, as they already, pretty much have successfully been doing. All right. But through the real gospel coming out, the false doctrine of Christianity, through who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, is starting to lose esteem, because more Jakes is, slowly leaving the church, and more Akim is actually, being sealed with the true knowledge of the Holy Bible through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, through men of the Lord being out there prophesying. Okay. It says, Pastor Sean Major Campbell of the rector of Christ Church in Vineyard Town, St. Andrew, said he does not think that the use of microchips in places like Sweden is a sign of the mark of the beast. All right. because they're already making more and more legislation, for this chip to be, mandatory all over the world. All right. More and more places are starting to, see how many people are, willing to take the mark of the beast. But at some point, this chip is going to be, mandatory, and they are going to enforce it. Okay, because it's part of worshiping and following the beast's image, which the beast represents Esau's power structure. Okay, it says the implanted microchip is an advanced convenience, which I would personally utilize. The Bible is understandably silent on this, as it was on cell phone technology, microwave ovens, and motor vehicles, which, the Most High through the prophets was not silent on, the inventions of Esau's technology. I mean, that's part of Esau's great signs and wonders, that he did amongst the nations. Okay, as far as the cell phones, the computers, the nuclear capability, all of these things that Esau has was part of the technology that was given him as a sign and a wonder amongst the nations. Okay. This is Revelations 13, and I'm gonna start at verse 7. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. All right, given unto who? Given unto the so-called white man, Esau. All right, he came up against you 12 tribes, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and natives. Put us, under his rulership and subjection. When he came over here and conquered, the tribes that was already in this land, which is you so-called Latinos and natives, and brought you so-called Negroes, from Europe and the western parts of Africa, to be in bondage under him. And power was given him over all kindreds and tongues and nations. All right. Because, it was a time where no one would think of going to war with America at one point, because America was established as that great power structure. And all that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. All right. So all who pretty much follow after, the way of the beast, that pretty much put their whole trust in the system, they're not going to be found written in the book of life. They're not going to have the testimony of Yahweh Shai or the name of his power, sealed in their foreheads, like the elect, which is the 144,000. Okay. They're going to be condemned with the rest of the world, that follow after the beast. Okay. I'm going to verse 11, and it says, and I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had two horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. Talking about this whole democracy system, which pretty much, like in the Roman Empire, you had the plebeians and the Scythians. Well, in this American system, you got the Democrats and the Republicans, which are pretty much for the same cause of the elites, to put, the people further in slavery. It says, And he exercises all the power of the first beast, which was the Roman Empire, which America is the last leg or extension of the Roman Empire, which is known as the 10 toes made from miry clay and iron, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. Okay? Because all of, pretty much America, and Esau's system as a whole embrace, the ways of, the Roman Empire. Okay? Because that was Esau's last great power structure before he came out of power. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire to come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. What is that? Thermonuclear capability, like with Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's one example. Them bombing over in the Middle East. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. All right. And this is where, pretty much they're going to come against all who oppose, Esau's government as far as, this RFID chip. They're going to pretty much come against all who oppose this to basically be put to death, And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. All right. So you can't implant a philosophy, an embargo, or any false claim that any of these Israelite camps or plantation Christianity pastors preach. You can't implant that into your right hand or in your forehead, but it's talking about a specific mark. All right. And that word mark in the Hebrew is charagma. Let's go ahead and get it. All right. It's the Greek G5480 charagma. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead or the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist. All right. So those who are not written, in the book of life, those who are against Yahushua, who are pretty much the enemies of the Most High, which is 2/3 of our people and the majority of the entire earth. Only a small remnant is going to be delivered from and utterly refuse the RFID chip under the possibility of death, which, pretty much we, in our faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, hope to be delivered from that. But, also it would be martyrs in the faith, It says that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. All right. So what are we buying and selling with right now is these Federal Reserve notes. But really, as far as this cryptocurrency or Bitcoin, we believe that that's going to be the currency that's going to be installed into, the RFID chip. Okay. And that's going to be the currency that's going to be used with the chip to buy or sell. Okay. And, people like this Jamaican pastor here, you know, this son of Bilal is, helping to push, you know, most of you Jakes is pretty much gonna follow right after them and be destroyed. It says the use of microchip in some parts of the developed world is being viewed by at least one local clergyman as a fulfillment of biblical prophecy, which is exactly what it is, because the Bible is not, a fairy tale book. It's a book of law, statutes, and commandments, history, and prophecy. Prophecy that's steadily being played out in the earth every day. The Most High is, spoke these things to existence, and his word doesn't go out void. So these things are promised to happen and are happening. It says Sweden has been a leader in the microchip trend, and already thousands have had chips implanted into their skin to carry out everyday activities and replace credit cards and cash. Says, unlike Campbell, Bishop Rohan Edwards, head of Lighthouse Assembly Church of God in Spanish town St. Catherine, said the implanting of chip under the skin appears to be the mark of the beast. All right. So, we're going to continue to encourage, our people, to have faith even unto death, not to take the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip. It says, this is something that has been predicted as would have happened. It is a sign of the mark of the beast. If you understand what is happening here, the Antichrist is being set up as we speak to govern the world. There is a one world government that is being formed. Okay. And, just to point out that it's not a one man Antichrist, but there are many Antichrists. Anybody who, is pretty much against the Most High and his Son, and as far as, the truth concerning the Most High and his Son, Yahweh Shai. It says, this is 1 John 2:18. Little children, it is the last time, as ye have heard, that Antichrist shall come. Even now there are many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. Okay? So that's how we are in, the latter times where all these things are being fulfilled. Okay? And pretty much anyone, who is against, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, is pretty much an antichrist, that pretty much trust in, Esau's system. This is Isaiah 8:20. It says, to the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in him. So there's no light in this Jamaican pastor or any, pastors that scatter the sheep into taking this RFID chip. Okay? So you should not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print or put any marks upon you. You know, going back to the Levitical laws, and that RFID chip, you know, they cause an incision to implant the RFID chip, you know, underneath the skin of your right hand or your forehead. So there's no light in these pastors, you know, who mainly teach Christianity, which is also another fulfillment of prophecy is concerning when Yahushua said, as far as the latter days, you know. All right, this is Matthew 24:4. And Yahushua answered and said unto them, take heed that no man deceive you. All right, because anybody who's out there saying that the chip is not the mark of the beast, that's a deception. All right, that's to get you to remain within the status quo of accepting, you know, the mark of the beast. You know, that's why Yahushua said, watch, you know, for the day of the Lord shall come as a thief in the night. Okay. It says, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, you know, I am anointed, you know, I am a Christian, and shall deceive many. Okay. So, you know, basically under the guise of Christianity, you know, a lot of the world, you know, including 2/3 of our people, is being deceived, you know. And pastors, you know, like this Jamaican pastor is help forwarding, you know, Esau's agenda. This is Isaiah 56:10. His watchmen are blind. All right. I mean, is not this pastor a part of a leadership role as far as being, you know, one of the supposed to be a spiritual leader to, you know, our people, you know, but pretty much, you know, he doesn't have the light of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, so therefore he is, you know, a blind watchman. Okay. They are all ignorant. They are all dumb dogs that cannot bark, sleeping, lying down, loving to slumber. All right. So if you got a dog is going to alert you to the presence of an intruder. Okay. And, you know, Esau is going to spring this chip, you know, clearly out the blue. You know, most of the population is not going to be prepared for it. You know, that's why, you know, the real men of the Lord, the real watchmen, you know, we're sounding the alarm, you know, to alert our people of this and to give them warning. Okay, verse 11, it says, yeah, they are greedy dogs which can never have enough, and they are shepherds that cannot understand. They all look to their own way, everyone for his gain from his quarter. Okay? So their concern is not for the sheep of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, but for their own belly, for their own gain. You know, to basically make it in, you know, Esau's system. This is Matthew 15:13. But he answered and said, every plant which my heavenly Father have not planted shall be rooted up. Let them alone. They be blind leaders of the blind. And if the blind lead the blind, both shall fall into a ditch. All right. So, you know, pretty much the scripture say most of the world lieth in darkness. Okay. And it's, you know, set up to only a small remnant will receive the truth, okay? And that small remnant, which is the 144,000 and the 1/3, is set to receive the light, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai and be delivered. All right. This is 2 Corinthians 4, verse 3. But if our gospel be hid, it is hid to them that are lost, in whom the God of this world have blinded the minds of them which believe not, lest the light of the glorious gospel of Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, who was the image of Yahweh, should shine unto them. Okay, so who's the God of this world? Satan through his children, Esau. Okay. So with that, I can end it there. Once again, I want to give all praises and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, Wahara Kwadash. And pretty much I hope this lesson was edifying for you, Akim. And, pretty much like we just fulfilling our lot as far as giving our people warning, because obviously these pastors, that don't have the truth, is not worried about, the flock. Okay. So with that, I said shalom.